Depending on who you ask, they'll tell you I'm a legend. From YO to the Veil to the Mongo spot on Creston. Always been 1,000, never ever been a lame. Lay a nigga down for these 3 letters on my chain.
Top of the top, y'all was shaking with it, man. This is your boy J Hood, and you are now tuned into a brand new episode of the Tales from the Hood vlog series, man. You know what I need you to do. Make sure you go stream or download my brand new project entitled S.E.L.F, and make sure you grab the Pesci trilogy also, part 1, 2, and 3. Run them numbers up for your boy. Hold me down. Real hip hop, you heard? So listen, on today's episode, we're going to speak about something that took place more recent than all the other stories I've been telling you guys. And what we're going to talk about is how the album with me and Yukmouth came about, the Savages album. You dig? So let's get into it. I first met Yuk in the early 2000s. I like to say around like 2004. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this was during the time that we were signed to Koch, if I'm not mistaken. My album was slated to come out and shit, so we did like a mini promo run in Miami and shit. Everybody had the J Hood shirts on and all that type of shit. So I'm down there battling a couple dudes on Collins, right? Going at it. We super going at it. You know what I mean? Giving them the business. Heavy bars. So I ain't know that Yukmouth was like on the side watching because it was a big ass crowd of motherfuckers and shit. But Yukmouth happened to be one of those people in the crowd. So after I finished battling dudes, he pulled me to the side. He like, nigga, you was going in. I'm like, no doubt. He like, Yukmouth from the Loonies and shit. I'm like, okay. And, you know, we spoke for a little second. And then that was my last time seeing him for like a couple years. And then he reached out to me via social media, I say about 2009, 2010, or maybe 2011, one of them shits. But it was one of those years. He reached out, told me he was doing a project and shit like that, and he wanted me to get on the track. I'm like, all right, bet. Because, you know, although I'm an East Coast nigga, we all grew up knowing who the Loonies was because they had one of the biggest songs out there that I Got 5 on, and it's like an international hit. You feel what I'm saying? Like everybody and their mama done heard that, so I already knew who the nigga was. I've been knew he was since my brother and shit used to, you know, play different hip hop songs for me and shit coming up. So it was like an honor to have him ask me to get on the track. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it, man. Sent me the track, and to my surprise, it had Freddie Gibbs on it. So it was a track featuring myself and Freddie Gibbs, Yukmouth, me, and Freddie. You know, at the time, Freddie Gibbs was still like coming up. He was kind of bubbling, but I heard the bars. I'm like, okay, son, going in. So I got dumped. So I ended up laying my verse, you know what I mean, and emailing it back to him. Track came out fire and shit, and that was on one of his projects called Something to Show. It was something. It was a project that he did with a producer, but you could go check it out right now. The song is on YouTube and you know, other platforms online and shit like that. The joint is fire. So anyway, after he sent that track to me and I sent it back, I ended up sending him a track for him to get on one of my projects. You know, he bodied that shit. And we just kept it going. You know what I mean? He sent me another joint to get on the next project he was doing, and, you know, I bodied that, and then I sent him another joint to get on. And so we started seeing how the chemistry was just so good. We like, you know what, man, we need to do something more than this. So I suggested that we do a mixtape because, you know, I'm from the mixtape era, so that's what I'm used to doing. I'm like, let's do a mixtape. So he like, nigga, listen, man, I'll show you how we do out here in the Bay. He like, nigga, fuck a mixtape, nigga. We might as well get this bag, do an album, you know what I mean, and get a check from one of these labels. You feel what I'm saying? Nigga, I could walk our shit in there and I could get us a deal. You know what I'm saying? We get a little advance and we get a distribution deal. I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. Say no more. So we start working on the project. We agreed that I'll bring half the beats to the table, he'll bring the other half. So we did just that. A lot of the shit was me recording over here and emailing it back to him, and him recording over there and emailing it back to me and shit like that. I think we probably had did like 2 tracks together in person, you know, when I was over there in Cali. But nonetheless, after we finished recording the project, we submitted it to Empire. You know, they gave us a distribution deal. We signed with them. They gave us our advance and shit like that. So we established a deal. We secured a deal with Empire for that particular project. All right, so after we turned it in, I flew over to Cali and shit, and we shot 3 videos, right? So the first video we shot in Oakland. What the hell was that in Oakland? It they call it Town Bears, I think, some shit like that. But we was in the hood, man. We shot this joint called Savage Thing, right? Actually, one of my favorite joints off the album. So we in like this parking lot. Hood shit, man. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers like, oh shit, these niggas over there in the hood. That shit was dope as hell, you feel me? So like we sitting there, we recording, crackheads all over there, gangsters all over there, all type of motherfuckers over there. We smoking heavy, big gas, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a dope experience. Motherfuckers were showing me hella love. And you know, I didn't even know they fuck with me in the Bay that heavy, but they were showing super duper love. So, you know, that was like I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised, you feel what I'm saying? Because I know I'm like a humble guy, you know what I'm saying? But I know the level of where my mixtapes reached over the years and shit like that. And they let it be known over there. They showed like super duper love. So that was dope. We shot that video over there, and then we ended up shooting another video with Keep the Sneak in another area in Oakland and shit. That was super dope. We did it like in a parking lot of a restaurant, and then like mad people came out for that. It was featuring 4 Racks from the Mechanics. He was on the hook. Mad people popped out for that. We ended up, like I said, in the parking lot of this restaurant, the E40 I shot a video at. Then we ended up going to this hood area in Oakland, and there was at least like 60 people, 70 people popped up. And that shit was like super dope, you know what I'm saying? I'm out there doling, you feel me? Like I ain't dolo because I'm with Yuck and them niggas, but I'm dolo, only East Coast nigga over there, you feel me? They showing me extra love. Saluting the nigga made me feel super duper comfortable and shit, so that was extra dope just to be over there with 2 legends. And the last video we shot was a joint called Gangster, and I got my boy Stick on that. He ended up getting on the hook. Stick is my bro and also co-founder of ODG Entertainment, and he's also an artist on the label as well. So I put him on the hook, and we shot that video in LA and shit. That was another dope experience, you know what I'm saying? We had the limo out there, we hanging out the window, riding through the city and shit. Shit was dope. And so the album ended up coming out. Everybody fucked with it. And I was pretty satisfied with the turnout. You dig? We ain't do no crazy numbers, but we made the label their money back and made a few ducats off of that shit, you feel me? So what ended up happening was we like, yo nigga, we need to double back and do a part 2. So like late last year, I say like around the fall, I flew out to LA again, and I spent like 3.5 months out there. And while I was out there, we was working on part 2. So, you know, just to let y'all know, Savage's part 2 is already like 95% done. I went out there and we recorded like 13, 14 tracks, but we're gonna record like an extra 3 or 4 just to be safe and shit. So, you know, hopefully that comes out later on this fall and all that, and it will be on Empire also. So be on the lookout for that. If you ain't check out Savage's part 1, make sure you go do that right now. Me and the big homie Yukmouth, shout to Yuck, yada da, One Mob and all that, and shout to my niggas in the Bay and shit. You feel me? As always, until next time, Tales from the Hood. Salute.